Hi guys, welcome back to Tira Gitana. My name is Abby and today we're going to continue on the Ancestor series that I started. This one's going to focus on healing ancestor trauma, and I would like to make it very clear that this is not the only way that you can heal ancestral trauma. There's a lot of ways to heal it, and I recommend following your own intuition, especially if you come from a very long line of healers. Then you'll be able to really come up with a lot of stuff that you can do. This is going to be a two-part ritual, and it's definitely going to be a fire ritual. We're going to be working with candle magic, and then we're going to be burning some stuff. So it's going to be fun. And as always, I like to work with the moon. We just had a full moon in Aries yesterday, and so I'm going to be working with the fact that we have a fire moon, and we're going to be burning stuff. So this is a two-part video. Definitely as we continue on with the series, we're going to get a little bit more complex. It's going to be more two-part type of rituals that we're going to be doing. There's going to be ancestor meditations, a lot of stuff coming, but I just wanted to definitely let you guys know that there's more that you can do as far as healing ancestor trauma. There's different ways to do it as well, different spells that you can do, different candle magic, different things that you can do, period, to heal that. And we're going to talk about it for sure throughout the series, but because we are working with fire energy and like Aries energy and like, you know, hyped energy, we're going to be using some ingredients that are very like fiery. I'm just like giving you the heads up right now. So I'm going to tell you what you're going to need for this work. You're going to need a 7-day candle, and the next video in the series is going to come when this candle burns, because I'm doing this work with you guys as is burnt, even though I already healed my ancestral karma. We're just, you know, they want me to show you guys, so that's what we're doing. So you're gonna need a 7-day candle, white candle, always white for the ancestors. You're going to need coffee. I'm using Café Bustelo. You're going to need crushed red pepper flakes. This is because of the Aries situation that I just mentioned. You are going to need eucalyptus. I go through mine like crazy, which is why this whole entire bag is it's only a little bit left. I use eucalyptus for healing for everything. Oh my god. I'm going to be using also a little bit of oregano because it helps to remove blockages, and I like just throwing in there a little bit of silver glitter because it's like anything close to the light is good. I'm also going to be using my ancestor oil. The oil that I have in my shop is like about this small. It's what is it, 5/8 of a gram? Yeah, of a dram. And they're up in my shop if you wanted to use the oil for your spell work and for your healing work. I made it specifically to be able to work with all of the different things that ancestors need as far as anointing goes, because you can't just really use any old oil for them. It's really good to have a specific oil for them, and that's kind of what they wanted me to do, which is why I created it. So the ancestor oil is up in the shop, and the link and stuff will be down below if you want to get your hands on it. You're going to need a chopstick, and for the second part of the spot, you're going to need a bowl which you can burn stuff in, and you're going to need ancestor money. And we're going to talk about ancestor money after I finish doing the candle, because we're going to do the candle first, and then we're going to do the ancestor money. So, oh, and Florida water for cleansing. We're going to double cleanse this time, so I'm going to do sage and Florida water. So first thing you're going to do, we're going to do water first, because we're going to be working a lot with fire, so let us cleanse by water first. So you're going to take the Florida water, rub it in your hands, and I always cleanse my candles when I bring them home, but I'm doing this for you guys so we could do this at the same time, so you don't feel alone if I skip the step and stuff, even though you can pause the video. So you're going to cleanse it, and you're going to take the sage and you smoke it out. Now, before you do the candle, always cleanse yourself. I already took a shower and I saged myself, but for the sake of the video, we're going to be cleansing ourselves really, really quickly. Start at the crown, Okay, then you're going to take the candle upside down and you're going to hold the smoke right there. And the reason for this is that you want the top to be clear. I mentioned this in the last video. You want the top of the candle to be cleansed and clear. And then you want to feel out your candle. This is something that I always do. Okay. And then you're going to poke 3 holes inside of the candle. And you're going to do that clockwise. However, if you don't care about directions, you don't have to do it. Especially if you're just beginning and you have not focused on direction yet, then that's fine, but we're going to be going clockwise. Okay. And then the first thing I'm going to put in is coffee. And the reason why I'm putting coffee in, and the reason why I put coffee in spell work, and it's going to sound so obvious after I say it, but what does coffee do to your body when you drink it? That is the same effect that it has on the candle. It gives it that like that jolt, caffeinated jolt, that extra power boost. So I am going to add a little bit of coffee to it. It's one of my favorite ingredients to use, especially when I'm working with anything that has to do with fire. It's fire spell work, fire deities, fire, like, especially Spanish deities, or like African deities, or like anything that's like a little bit more not your norm, not the ones that you hear often. I always use coffee because they love coffee. They love their coffee. Next is eucalyptus. And again, eucalyptus is amazing for healing, and we're going to be doing healing for ancestor trauma. So, and this covers a lot of things. We're going to focus on this later. If you wanted to focus on a singular issue, this is a general ancestor trauma candle spell work. So let's say you wanted to do it for a specific ancestor that you know has like trauma. And we're going to talk about specific ancestors, and we're going to talk about negative ancestors as well, because it's like a huge fear in like the community and stuff like that, which makes no sense to me, but hey, to each their own. We are going to talk about those things. So if you wanted to focus on a specific one, you can. That's totally fine. But for this, we're just focusing on general, because the first candle was establishing a connection. The second candle is sending that love up and just sending that healing and just that boost, like, hey, I'm here. I want to do the work. And this is what the candle work does. It's just, it tells your intention, and your ancestors are already going to be with you while you're doing this. So it's like, hey, you know, this is my intention. I'm sending this love to you. I'm sending this light to you. I'm sending this healing to you. And this is where my intention is going. This is what I want from that. Not necessarily something for myself, even though you do gain from healing ancestor trauma. It's mainly for them. Keep that in mind. Next, we're going to put in the crushed red pepper. And I love this with the same thing that coffee does, but crushed red pepper works so fast in spell work. Anytime I use it, I'm like, okay, all right. I mean, okay. And then lastly, we're going to put oregano. Oregano is amazing for removing blockages, protection, and healing. So it's not just great on pizza. No, it's really good. I love it. You take your finger, you're going to go clockwise, and you're going to activate the herbs, and you're basically going to tell the herbs what you wanted to do. So you can say, I activate these herbs for my ancestors. Let them find healing in this powerful, under this powerful moon, under this powerful time. Let them find healing. I set my intention to heal their karmic debt across time and space, so that they may continue to be open and continue to be strong in their power in the dimension that they're in. And I always Reiki my candles. I've spoken about this, but I have to mention it in every video. I always Reiki my candles, with pretty much almost every single symbol, especially the distant symbol, because it's very important. So next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna use the oil, and the oil really helps to just seal in that intention that we're setting. You can also do this for like specific, see, we're gonna get into it. You can also do this for specific family members. For example, a little bit more. So for example, if you happen to notice that your sister has characteristics of a specific ancestor that happen to, like, it's just like history repeating itself, this is spell work that you can then start kind of customizing based on the person, especially when you're kind of taking on the family mantle of healing everyone. This is something that you can use to specifically help that. Okay, so it's feeling good. So basically the candle's fixed. I'm just gonna go over it again and just make sure my intention is clear, and just spend time visualizing and communicating. You can even say a prayer. You can do, especially for trauma, you can do a liberation prayer for your ancestors. Amazing thing to do. So I definitely recommend that if you wanted to do it. You can just call them and speak to them directly, letting the candle be almost like a phone, like you're speaking to them, and specifically stating what specifically you want to heal. There's like so many ways. Definitely follow your intuition with this. I'm just showing you how to fix the candle, so you can like customize it as you go along, and we're going to be doing some more different things throughout it. So then I'm going to go ahead and light this, because this baby is ready in the vibe. Anytime I do it like an ancestor candle, it always just has like the most loving vibe. Okay, so that is burning, and I'm gonna put this right here, and then this is gonna be the second part of the ritual that we're doing. You're gonna need ancestor money. Ancestor money is really amazing for clearing ancestor karma and debts, and just, oh my god, so much good stuff that you can do with this. You can even do work with deities and goddesses with this. So much work you can do with this. But the way we're going to use it, we're going to take one, and you can customize it. You can say whatever the way you want to phrase it. I always say to all my ancestors, known and unknown, because I'm not afraid of working with quote unquote negative ancestors. Even though I already healed my trauma, as far as ancestral trauma goes, I'm done doing the healing work for my ancestors. So I don't have negative ancestors, but that's also because I'm not afraid to. But this is the thing about negative ancestors. There are some ancestors that, well, soon to be ancestors, that from my family, especially from my mom's side, that I know when they pass, they're gonna have trauma. So I'm gonna have to heal those aspects. And specifically with my uncle, because even me and him have had a whole thing before. And I know I'm gonna have to do the healing work for that. We're gonna talk about the whole fear of negative ancestors when I do that video. So if you would like to omit it out of that fear, you can. That's not something I necessarily agree with. I think flat out healing anything, it's healing, it's good, period. And sending healing is not a negative thing. Your ancestors not gonna kill you for sending them healing. It's not how it works. They don't have the power to do that. They don't have the power to do that specifically. Also, please understand that if one of your ancestors happen to have murdered someone or something like that, that doesn't mean that all of your other ancestors fold to that one ancestor because they happen to have done some negative stuff. That's not how it works. We're gonna talk about it. So if you would like to omit it when you're burning this, do you? You know, again, there's a fear with that people like to put on people. I know there's certain like religions and stuff that like to be specific about not, you know, hey, we can't, you know, not the negative ancestors, whatever, just the positive ones and stuff like that. But the problem with that is that when you omit a certain aspect of yourself, once you pass, you're passing down that trauma that you did not heal to your next of, and it doesn't help anybody because it didn't get healed because you were too afraid of healing that thing. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about that later. But anyway, I always just say to all my ancestors, known and unknown, I send you healing, I send you love. Please use this to heal any trauma that you may have, any pain that you've caused others. And you can say whatever it is that you need to say. You can change it up. That's just how I do it, and it's worked wonders for me. But do you, boo? Do you, boo? That's how we're gonna keep this. We're gonna say you do, boo. You I can't even talk. And I'm gonna fold it towards me. There's no follow your intuition when it comes to this. Just follow your intuition. I usually fold it this way first, and then I fold it once again, and then I'm just thinking about what the intention is, which is healing my ancestors' trauma. So any pain, any hate, anything that needs to get cleared up, anything that needed to get healed that didn't get healed, I send healing to that place. I thank my ancestors and I honor my ancestors by healing them. The next thing that I do is that I Reiki the note, the money note. And then burn it. So, bowl. And I'm going to just hold it up so you can kind of see it, even though it's going to be like real quick. And I definitely should have opened the window because I know this thing always, like, it just has like this scent to it, the specific note, the way it's made. Okay, you put it in the bowl. This, and that's just gonna burn through. And if you want to, you can put this bowl in front of your ancestor altar. I do this all the time, just so they can have that in their space, in the space that I have for them. I'm gonna be putting this on my altar as well. But yeah, you're pretty much done after this. So this is kind of like the Aries moon ancestor work as far as healing ancestor trauma. We will be working with the ancestors with the different elements. So this one is the one with fire, and it's pretty strong considering with the moon and everything. So, and it's burnt, so it's good to go. Ooh, and it's hot, and I just burned my fingers. I've never touched a bowl after I burned something in it, so that was me. That was my bad. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions. You can email me. If you want to get the oil, the link would be down below in the description box. And don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.